So I just had a call with someone that lasted a pretty long time, and she and I were going back and forth on dating and what to look for, what not to look for intentionally. Sometimes we look for things that aren't there before we even see them. But her main issue that she was having was that she was dating someone new. And she just is a realist in knowing that you can't jump into things too fast, especially if you're just getting to know someone. If it's brand new, if it's under 6 months, and it's not a committed relationship, you have to be a little bit open to leaving room, to breathe in a sense. You have to take things slowly, more slow than you'd want to, right? So she was having an issue that kept coming up for her where she's dating a guy and she believes that he's not over his ex. And this topic comes up a lot with people that are dating because it's a fact in life. A lot of people don't do their own work before they start new relationships. Sometimes people get into new relationships to try to, quote unquote, get over their ex. Even though that's not really a viable option that works, right? There's an old quote that says, in order to get over someone, get under someone new. But really, if you're not doing your own work ahead of time, if you don't heal yourself at least 80% of the way before you get involved with someone new, it is likely going to turn into disaster. Even if you have a great connection with someone, even if you feel like this guy could be the one or both of you, if you're both not healed, there's going to be issues eventually. And it's just the way of life. If we're not doing our own healing on getting over our past, on getting over our ex, whether you were the one that broke up with him or he broke up with you or it was mutual, there's healing to be done on all sides. You have to be introspective with yourself. And it goes beyond just thinking. Are you speaking with a therapist? Are you speaking with a counselor or anyone that you value their opinion with, a friend? Are you doing work on yourself that doesn't even involve the ex? These are all things that you begin to realize about yourself when you put in the time and energy to find out new things about yourself. Why is this triggering you? Why can't you let go? All these things. So she's going on and she believes that the guy that she's dating is not over his ex fully. She can't figure out why. She doesn't think that he's dating other people. But in a sense, he still is dating someone because his mind and his heart is with someone else still. And that can still feel like infidelity. It can still feel like he's cheating on you because he's not fully with you. So, signs that he might still think about her. He's still in love with her. She keeps asking, why is this guy disconnected with me? I feel it. There's a wedge. I haven't done anything wrong. I know he's not cheating, but something's missing. Something is just not right. There's too much silence. There's too much pauses. There's not something that you could have feelings with each other, but there's something else. There's got to be someone else, right? Whether he is seeing someone or not, he could be seeing multiple people. He could be seeing another person while he's dating you. And if you're new, then you have to expect them to be dating other people sometimes. But even if he's not dating someone else and his mind and his heart is still with his ex, he hasn't let her go. So he's dating her still. He's in love with a woman, and that woman isn't her, right? So he's just not over his past, and that causes a huge wedge into everyone's future. If there's a wedge and you definitely haven't done anything wrong and there's no weirdness going on, he's not cheating on you or seeing other people, he's not on the DL, there's nothing like that happening, there's definitely another woman in his heart. And you're sharing that space with him. You are actually competing with this ex on an emotional level. You're competing with someone else even though she's not here. He's putting you in a competition. You're having an emotional threesome in a sense, right? Because he's not giving you his full attention. He's not giving you his full heart and soul and body. He's distracted, right? So it doesn't matter how long this man has been out of his past relationship, whether he was married or not. He could have been out for 6 months. He could have been out for 5 years or even 10 or 20 years. It does not matter. When it comes down to healing, time does not heal things. A lot of people have that thought that just if you let enough time go on, time will just heal all of your wounds, and that is not the case at all. This is why you see a lot of men that stay attached to their exes for decades, right? And his last wound will stay with him forever until he does his own work. Now, this could also be true for women as well, but usually men don't like to go inward and heal, right? They just do other things, and they're used to being functional. They're used to just going about their business. They stay busy. They work all the time. They might even date numerous women, right? And they're not even paying attention to the actual core emotions that they're feeling. They're not studying what they need in order to process things in a healthy way for them so they can actually get over what's bothering them, right? They're not allowing themselves to fully heal, right? So it does not matter how long this man has been out of relationship. If you feel like there's a distraction happening or a pause or silence or there's some space that you just can't understand, you probably have to start wondering what is going on. And if it's not another woman that he's currently dating, it's his ex. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean that he might be in love with her. Maybe he's just afraid of getting into a new relationship. But if this man has contacted you, if this man has went out of his way to start talking to you, he's investing with you 50%. Okay? So you're almost like a coping mechanism for him, right? Some people cope, they do drugs, they drink, they have sex with a lot of people, right? This man could be doing all these things. He could be having sex with numerous women just to suppress his real true feelings, where his heart lies, right? So it does not matter if this guy has suffered for 20 years over his ex. If he has not done any work on himself, he's still going to use other women as coping mechanisms just to cover up how he feels, okay? So if you feel like he's attached to his ex, and you feel like all you do for him is never really good enough, like you're competing with this ghost, right? It's just a sign for you to step back a little bit. Because do you want someone to be half in with you? Would you feel like you're being fair if you're starting a new relationship with someone new, knowing deep down inside in your heart that you're not fully in with him? You know, he's disengaged. He's underwhelmed by what you're doing. You know, you could be doing great things for him. You could be showing him that you care, and nothing really truly matters to him. He doesn't really get excited about what you're doing because now all of a sudden, all the good things that you're doing for him, all the good things that you're showing him, he's just becoming triggered about this past ex. Oh, she used to do that for me. Now I miss her more. You know, so it doesn't matter how good of a woman you are to this man. If he's not fully invested in you, you're just going to trigger him into thinking about his ex even more. So if you find yourself in a situation like this, ask yourself, do you deserve someone that's half-assed with you? Do you deserve to waste your time with someone that's actually wasting your time? Right? You're being taken for granted in a sense. You're being used as a cover-up. Right? And that's going to impact you in your emotional state, in your physical state if you're having sex with him. Anything that you do, your heart is unprotected because he's not protecting your heart, right? He's trying to heal his with another woman. Also, if you feel like you're trying to talk to him, and he's distracted at important times in life, maybe it's holidays, maybe it's birthdays, maybe it's late at night, whatever it is, there's something happening with him that you just can't put your finger on. That could mean a lot of things, but you have to start wondering, where is this man's mind going? Why does he look so yellow? Maybe he's not talking to other women on his phone, but there's something drifting off with him. And it could be anxiety or something like that. So you have to use discernment with what's really going on. You can't jump to conclusions with people. But also, you can't play dumb if you know within your gut, if you feel it in your intuition that this man is distracted. You have to start wondering what is going on. And it doesn't mean that it's your fault. Like I said, you could be a great woman. You could be someone that offers so much. But if a man is not willing to step forward into his future fully, clearly, with a clean slate, because his heart is still attached to his ex, everything that you do is a waste of time. And that's going to cause you depression. That's going to cause you anxiety. That's going to cause your mind to start ruminating late at night, because now you're wondering, what is he so distracted with? Right? So if a man is still heartbroken over his ex, and that's his default to just comfort himself with other people to distract himself, he's using you as a distraction. And that's not good for anybody, right? So it triggers you, it triggers him, and there's a lot of grief that occurs from that. So you have to be aware about the intuition that you are feeling. You have to start listening to your intuition. How does your stomach, your gut feel when you're around this man? He could be a good man, right? He doesn't have to be a bad guy. He could be a very good guy. He could be a hardworking guy. He could be someone with good intentions. But if you still feel that absence, there might be hesitation because of fear. There might be hesitation for other reasons. But if there's a huge wedge between you two, when he's saying one thing and doing another, there's something going on. His mind is somewhere else, because when a man is really, truly into you, he wants to lock you in immediately. He wants to take you off the market so no one else has you, because he cherishes you. And when a man finds something like a piece of gold, he is willing to take it immediately. So if he's not doing that with you, right, within a certain amount of time, he's showing his attention somewhere else. He's still hooked on his ex. So if he's not investing his time fully with you, if he's not investing his heart fully with you, if he's just going about his way with you in a physical manner where it's almost like a functional thing, he's not really making love to you, because you'll feel the emotions, you'll have the eye contact, you'll have the sweetness, like there's more emotion involved with it besides just the physical act of sex. If he's just having that with you and it's cold, even if he is a good guy, but you feel it in your body that it's cold, you could do something and then immediately he just shuts off. There's no emotions afterwards. He's just like, all right, thanks so much, right? It's like a transaction approach to being physical with one another. It could be something else besides his ex, like he's addicted to porn or something else, but you have to be aware of all of these minute details because they matter, especially if you are physical with this person. If you feel like he's using sex as a distraction, he probably is, because again, when a man is in love with you, you'll know. He's almost a little annoying. He wants to see you constantly. And he's not just saying that he wants to see you constantly. He tries to make plans with you all the time. He's trying to make plans with you even if he's busy. Even if he has 3 jobs, he's like, I have off on next Thursday and I want you there already. I want you there already. He's not going to make you wait around to the last minute to see if he's even willing to hang out with you. Do you see? Like there's a... He doesn't waste his time trying to see when you're available. He doesn't leave you up to last minute. He doesn't make plans with you the night before. Sometimes, yes, that can happen, and that's okay if if things just happen like that. But if it's an ongoing process with a man that you're dating and you feel like there's a wedge and he leaves you to the last minute to make plans and he doesn't show any real commitment to making those plans, at least, there's something going on, right? He doesn't want to connect with you in that way because he's connected to someone else. When a man is connected to you fully, you will know, and it will be overwhelming. Because men don't beat around the bush when they want something. When they really, truly want something wholeheartedly, they make every last effort. They find time. Doesn't matter how busy they are. They find the time and they let you know immediately. And they want you there. And they let that be known on a almost annoying basis, right? You could be like, this guy doesn't give me any space. He wants to hang out with me every last minute of, that he's free. That shows that he's investing in you and you only. He's not giving you the time slot of date number 3 for that week, right? So if a guy is cold with you, especially when he's physical with you and he's using you as almost like a blow-up doll, he's basically using you as just that, a body. A warm body, when his mind and his heart is with another woman. So he might be actually masturbating to this ex, in a sense, with your body, if that makes sense. He's using your body as a lubricant. And if he doesn't even look at you, he's making love to that other woman in his head. And it's a hard pill to swallow because it's the truth. Yes, men could be nervous. Yes, men could have all these other issues that are going on in their head, but you'll also know because they will reinforce their feelings with you. I'm nervous. I might be acting funny, or I'm a little distracted because I want to perform well. I want this or that. I like you so much. I don't want to do a bad thing. There's a bonding. There's a connection. There's communication. But if a man is cold and he just uses you as a functional object for his pleasure, there's something else going on, and his mind and his heart belong to another woman. And he can do that with multiple women. He can use them as basically blow-up dolls. So it's important to not just evaluate whether or not a man is good. You have to make sure that this man is in an emotional state that shows that he's healed. Okay? And you can ask him questions, trying to figure out, what has he done to heal? What has he gone through with himself? Who has he spoken with? What processes has made him heal so he can fully move on from his past relationships? If he can't articulate what he's done, it's a huge red flag because he's not done any work then. And also, it's showing you that he's in denial that he needs to heal. We all need to heal from past relationships, whether or not it was someone else's fault or not. We're all at fault for certain reasons. We all have made choices for certain reasons. And those are the things that you have to start going over to fully heal yourself so you can go on with a fresh page in a new relationship with a brand new person. You can give them full attention, right? So this person might be, this guy, going back to this woman that I was speaking with, might be using her just because he feels lonely, just so he can feel physically satisfied, just because he misses being in a connection, even though it's not the connection that he wants, right? It's out of loneliness. So it's important for her or any of you that relate to this to not just look for a good man that you think is good with good intentions. It's whether or not he's actually healed. It's whether or not there's no emotional blankness that you feel, right? If you're starved emotionally and you're constantly reaching out to him, or you're constantly wondering or ruminating whether or not a guy likes you, I bet you he does not like you, because when a man truly wants you, he's going to show you in so many ways that you don't even have to wonder. Okay? And a man could do this too for a week. They can love bomb you for a week, a month, and then completely fall off where his energy changes like Jekyll and Hyde. He can love bomb you. You can get used to his attention, his constant interaction with you, his constant communication. And then after a month, he says nothing. There's radio silence. there's no communication as like he used to anymore. He falls off. It's a form of trauma bonding, and it's toxic. So you have to wonder, it's not just a one-off. Sometimes we could be busy, sometimes we could have a bad week, but if this man just falls off after love bombing you and treats you as an object with no emotionality behind it, when he's really not trying to connect with you, his heart is with someone else. So if a man isn't fully showing you everything, right? And it could be in multiple ways, even if he's like not used to speaking his words. There's ways that he could show it. There's ways that he could write it. There's a lot of ways that a man shows you that he's truly into you and you alone. So if you don't feel that and you are wondering, it might not be that guy for you. This guy might be using you to feel less lonely. This guy might be using you to try to get over his ex. And you don't want to be in competition with someone's ex. You will be becoming anxious, depressed, angry. You'll be ruminating, you'll be wondering, and you'll always be confused on why you always have to reach out to him and try to get answers from him. If a man truly wants you, he'll give you all the answers himself. And that's just truly it. So if you want this to happen for yourself, okay, you have to find a man that's not only a good man that you're attracted to and all that, but does he have the emotional maturity to know that he has to work on himself before he gets into another relationship, before he messes with someone else's heart? And that's what you need to find out. So it's not whether or not this man is good or bad. And it's not about you either. You know, you could be a great person and this guy is just not the right fit for you because he's not even allowing himself to move on. You don't want to be with someone that is half-assed. You don't want to be with someone that you have to constantly get reassurance from. If you have to ask him questions on whether or not he likes you or that he wants to be with you or that you have to ask him if he wants to hang out, this is not the man that you want to spend your time with because he's going to be wishy-washy with you and he's never going to fully give you his heart because his heart is still with an ex.